Tell us how you got connected to this film. How long have you known the team behind this? When did this all kind of start? Because this has taken 6, 7, 8 years. I mean, this is a long time.
It's a great question. Thank you for starting with that. It's an incredible story. The filming itself was a 7-year shoot from 2007 to 2014, and actually the project itself was 10 years, which is unusual in this day and age because we had a long post-production because the film was opened back up again. I became to the project after the earthquake in 2010 when the director of the film, Owsley Brown, who was a good friend and a colleague, asked me to come take a look at this footage because he was at a crossroads with this project. He had gone to Haiti to shoot this film about this incredible classical music school that was improbably thriving in the heart of one of the more dangerous sections of a very hectic, chaotic city, Port-au-Prince, Haiti. The subject of the film, the Saint Trinité École de Musique, was really the subject of the film. That was enough of a story, this oasis of art and well-being and cultural flourishing in a very misunderstood country. Owsley returned with our cinematographer, the wonderful Marcel Cabrera, to our offices in San Francisco at the very end of 2009 to begin the process of looking at the 2 years of footage and begin translations and think about assemblies and all that good stuff when just a couple of weeks later, one of the most catastrophic earthquakes in recorded history struck Haiti and thoroughly demolishing the St. Trinity School of Music and most of Port-au-Prince. That created an absolute disaster for the project because, of course, the filmmakers were despondent about the welfare of their subjects, of their friends, and they returned with the blessing of the administration, which was trying to conduct school in the rubble, the invitation to come and film that. And then I became involved with, I have a story editing background, a screenwriting background, and a creative producing background to help Owsley and the editors think about where we find story, what was happening to this project, now what was the film going to be. And we brought on a wonderful third producer, Owsley Brown, myself, and Anne Flatte, who had edited some of Owsley's work in the past. And the three of us stewarded this project, went back to Haiti, shot for another section which became the last third of the film. We had in total 3 different editors working on the project, something like 270 hours of film, including lots of B-roll, tons of translations, and ultimately we found our story through our characters, through the wonderful subjects of the film who stayed with us over 7 years of filming to bring to audiences a 7-year arc of survival and transcendence and courage and you know the wonderful universal truth of the power of music and art itself and communities. So it was an incredible experience. I didn't think I'd be on it for as long as I was.
Yeah, I want to start with the music side of it because that's what first attracted him to this story.
That's right.
I think when people think of Haiti, there's an outside perception of Haiti, and specifically, like you said, where this school was in Port-au-Prince was in the heart of, like you said, one of the most dangerous areas. That's such a fascinating part of the story into itself. Being someone who came into it afterwards, looking back at the footage, were you amazed at just the quality and level of talent that was there before it?
It's such a great question. I was, gobsmacked by all that it was. The fact that you just go through this sort of iron sliding gate to get into what was the campus even after the earthquake of the music school. and you leave this hectic street scene, this very urban part of Port-au-Prince, and you are in this oasis of well-being. I mean, it's really the power of a good school. I mean, I had seen the footage, so my first trip to Haiti wasn't until 2014. So it matched what I saw, but it didn't. It's impossible to really understand a place with all of the senses that you have when you're in it. And film has a way of making everything beautiful, and we had a marvelous cinematographer, and the beauty still was there, and the beauty was in the music. You hear the classical music, you hear Haitian classical music, which this film brings to audiences. Most people have no idea that there's a canon of virtuosic classical composition from Haitian composers. You hear these students from as young as 3 and 4 all the way up to those who have seeded the National Symphony Orchestra, and they're playing, in that room or open air, they're playing Mozart or Debussy, and then there's something by Julio Racine or Emile Desamours, these wonderful legendary Haitian composers. You hear Rara, which is that incredible percussive folkloric Haitian music, a lot of drumming, and it's just joyful and also focused at the same time, like any great school is, where the students and faculty have purpose, but and that sort of focused in the now energy towards what they're studying.
I think a lot of people seeing this film will feel like you did in 2014, first visit, first interaction.
Yeah.
What can we, as audience members who don't know the story, what can we take from it? Because I think there's so much to take, and it's so vast, but what are you hoping people take from it?
I mean, I think one of the hardest things to do was to finish this film, because Haiti is not a place where you can just take a bow and wrap up a story and put it on the shelf and say, here it is, everything turned out beautifully, happy ever after. It's a country that is misunderstood, because so much of what you see on CNN, and the pandemics, the natural disasters, corruption, the deep poverty, disease, one failed leader after the next, and instability. And yet what I hope Serenade for Haiti does is give the viewer a deeper sense of the artistry, of the tremendous commitment to culture, of the tradition of this incredible place. I mean, it's been the crossroads of so many cultures, from its indigenous Caribbean roots to the French, to hundreds of years of French brutal colonization, to the African slave peoples who really make up, descendants really make up most of Haiti. The language of Haitian Creole is this incredible mixing of French and those African dialects. The music has its historic roots in slave uprising. Much of it does. Some of the instruments that you see in Carnival came to the fore from those days of the uprising. I mean, Haiti became a country in 1804, and we have so much to learn about it. And a feature-length film can only do so much, but I hope we all who made this film hope that Serenade for Haiti sets the table for more inquiry and investigation, and certainly more respect of these amazing people who have been trashed by leadership, shall we say, of the United States and other places recently, and also simultaneously embraced and appreciated.
Let's get back to the music.
Yeah, back to the music.
That's so much part of the film as well. Yeah. And the arc of the film, I think, rotates with the way Owsley and you guys put the musical score, and it flows directly into their playing. I think there's moments where it's almost seamless. Can you talk about the importance of the musical composition of the film compared to what we get to see unfold with the playing in the film?
Well, I really appreciate that. I mean, a lot of times when you're making a film and you have music is so much a part of the subject, you think about using music as a way to cue various emotions or maybe a narrative agency for your film. But really what we came to see was the music itself was a character. It was more than the subject. It was something that was gathering momentum as the film took life. There was so much for us to learn, and as we learned and we employed it in the film, we realized we really just want to see the subject of this film play it, and we want to learn from them. Every note of this film that you hear is performed by the subjects of the film. Every single note, whether it's live performances or rehearsals that we recorded, or the music from a recording that they made called Haitian Classics in the Garden, which is just one of my favorite CDs. I play it all the time. I have it in my iTunes, and I'm constantly playing it. You see the connection of the students of the school to their own music, and that was a really big piece of understanding for us as filmmakers, was the healing that happened after the earthquake, this terrible event. There wasn't a family member, a student in that school who didn't lose someone or was terribly affected by that disaster. Playing their own music and their own instruments together, studying their own music, connecting with it, connected to their own story as Haitians, I believe, and also has a tremendous healing effect on any human being. And I think you could find this in New Orleans after Katrina. You find the power of music to bring community together, and the playing together of music to help us somehow, without using words, just feel better.
I found myself in the film connecting with specific kids and specific people because of my own, whether it's connection to the instrument or connection to something about them in the story. Was there anyone in particular that stuck with you?
I've been so fortunate because we've stayed in touch with so many of the subjects of the film, and the two boys who are now young men, Doris, the little boy who says, "I want to be an artiste," in the beginning of the film, the precious 9-year-old, he's now 19 and a strapping young man studying English and university level in New York City. So he's near and dear to my heart, as is, of course, Mark Valens, who we just saw in Haiti 2 weeks ago when we were screening the film there. He is so special to me and to all of us who made the film. Mark, I'm happy to say, is in university in Port-au-Prince. He's teaching cello at the school, and he is playing in the orchestra in Haiti, fulfilling the promise that he makes in the film. So I would say those two boys I feel like they're my own surrogate kids. We all feel that way about them, and all the children that we got to know in the film, and Bernadette and David, they're just such dear friends to this day.
Where can we keep in track with the film? How can we find out more information? And just give us all the online information.
Online? Okay, great. I would say our website, serenadeforhaiti.com, is a great way to stay up to date with where the screenings are happening and where distribution will be unfolding going forward. And we've come to love our Facebook page, because Facebook turned out to be a wonderful domain for our community, and that's just at Serenade for Haiti. And I think we have something between 6,000 and 7,000 followers now, and we've been able to keep updating candid photographs, recordings, news about the film, news about the subjects of the film, and keep that community going forward. So I would say those two places are the best spots.
Well, thank you for bringing it here to the festival. It was one of my favorite films to watch. I didn't expect what I got to see, and definitely passed along to Owsley that thank him for sticking with this.
I can't wait to tell him that, and I thank you for your kind words and your time. We're really, really appreciative to be here in Oxford to share this film with these audiences. And you, thank you.